Let's go. Alright, so x-intercept, y-intercept. What does that mean? Okay, and since they're both brown and purple, I can use my brown to show x is right here, y is right here. So the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. That's at 2, so that's right here. In other words, you'd call that 2, 0, right?
Did you get it?
Yeah. Chad, what about the y-intercept? Where's that at?
The -1.
So is that here?
And it goes down 2.
Down 1, because it's -1.
We're digging.
Oh.
Right?
Digging.
Right? Morgan?
Yeah.
Focus. So what would that point be? That point would be -1, 0, or 0, -1?
0, -1.
0, -1, good. 0, -1, that would be that point. And then draw your line. Okay? That's all we're asking. If you don't get this right, you're not listening. It's that simple. Okay? Use the pins. You don't have to, I mean, if there isn't a brown there, which I don't think there is anymore, you can use blue and purple. You can use green and red. I don't care. Use 2 different colors so that you understand, because when we come to number 4, which one's which? If they're both the same color, they're both at -1. So you don't know which one's going where, unless you show yourself the negative color, which is -1, 0, because x comes first, right? And then the y comes second. That -1 is right here, and that's 0, -1. That's the same point that we have here, but now this slope is different. So here's the thing. Alright, that's all you need to do. But there on the test on your final, on your midterm and your final, I'm going to ask you not only to do this, but give me the equation of the line. Now you already know B, so the only thing you need to know is M. Right? So rise and run. Okay? So what is the rise? And what is the run? And is it negative or positive, right? You have to remember, if you can throw this up, negative, positive, no solution. Okay? 0. This is when x equals something, and this is when y equals something. And that base will save you, I guarantee it. Especially when they start giving you these straight up and down and right to left equations, okay? So, when I look at this rise, I'm going up how much? 1? And then I'm going right 2. So I'm going up 1, right? And right 2. And so what that means is that I've got up is positive and right is positive, so that M is now equal to 1/2. But I need to say how I got that. How did I get that? And here I'm using the definition of y equals mx+b and the definition of slope. Or you could call it just M. Okay? Now, once I have slope, I have M and I have B, right? So I can write the equation. What is the goddess equation? Y equals mx plus b. Again, definition of y equals mx plus b, or you could say linear equations, right? Definition of linear equations. Now, all you need to do is plug in M and plug in B. That's it. So I rewrite y equals x, and then I'll put in my m, which is 1/2, and I'll put in my b, which is -1. And that is your equation. It's that easy. Okay? There's nothing they can do that makes it difficult when they give you these two. Okay? So on the next one, again, is this a positive or negative slope? Because what we're going to start looking at is correlation in here. And so you have to look at these data plots and go, oh my goodness, what's the correlation? Is it negative? Is it positive? Is it nothing? Right? And the key is it going up or is it going down? And in this case, it's going down. So therefore, the slope is negative, right? So right away, I know that the slope is negative. M is negative, right? Why? Definition of slope, or in our case, definition of M. Simple, okay? What else do I know? I want to get to know what M is. Well, also by the definition of slope, I also know that it is the rise over the run. And in this case, the rise is negative because I'm going down. So if I'm going down, right, then that is negative. And I'm going down 1. So it's -1. And the run, I'm going right. So if I'm going right, that is +1. And so my M is therefore -1/1, which equals -1. That is my slope. Okay? Why? Again, definition of slope. Right? And then what did we do? We simplified, or in our case, we used MD, right? So we also used MD. Now, what's B? Well, B was given, right? So B is equal to -1. That's given. Now you notice something here. I'm using brown for B, purple for M. So let's use red for y equals mx plus b, definition of linear equations, right? And notice we're stepping up higher and higher each time. We're using more and more vocabulary, mathematic vocabulary. You need this vocabulary, right, on the state test. Without it, you will not pass it. Okay? And at any other school, if you don't pass that state test, you don't graduate. So, keep that in mind. Okay? Now, all I do is I plug in M. So I'm going to rewrite y equals x, and then just put in my M, which is -1, or negative x, right? And then put in my B, which is -1, so -1. And that is my equation. That's it. That's all we're asking for. Okay? But it's a lot. Right? Pretty simple. But what did we do here when we plugged it in? What's that called?
Wait, what is it?
When we plug it in. When we put in -1 for B and -1 for N. What's that called?
Replace.
Substitution.
Come on, guys. Substitute. We've been doing this all year. Substitution. Okay? So, Kiane, we have to have this written just like this. If you don't have both sides, you don't get full credit. Okay? So, we have to show our work, not just show the answer, because the answers are on the back page. We have to show our work, we have to define how we got there, and on the midterm, we're going to take it a step farther, and you're going to write out in words, everything you just did. Okay? So you need to practice that. Because if we can't write that out in words, we're not going to pass that state test. Okay? We definitely need you to get that state test passed, right?